We're going on a cruise, y'all. Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today I am going to show you what you need to do to cruise with your service dog on MSC. I did a video on how to cruise with your service dog on Carnival, but this one is specifically for MSC. Now, a lot of the information may be the same when it comes to the ports. So it doesn't matter what port you're going to, it doesn't matter what country you're going to. There's certain things you have to do regardless, that is required by them. So on my How to Cruise on Carnival Cruise Line, I break all of that down for you. On this one, I'm only going to talk specifically about the MSC requirements as well as the CDC, because in this case, we're not going to a high-risk rabies country. So therefore, it's a slightly different. So I will go over that. But if you want to know as far as the countries that you're going to and what's required, my video, which I will post up here, gives you a little bit more in-depth detail as to how to navigate the different countries. So we're going on an MSC cruise, seaside to be exact, and the cruise line is only going to the Bahamas, Nassau, and also to their private island. So those is basically also in the Bahamas. So you only have to get one pet permit for both islands, and I will discuss that as well. So let's get into it here. The first thing you want to do is go to the MSC website. This is what their website looks like, at least as of right now. The best way and the fastest way I know how to get to where you need to go is scroll all the way to the bottom and click accessibility and medical requests. When you click on that, it's going to take you to this page. Now, I highly encourage you to read the entire thing at your leisure, especially since they do have, for example, here it says that sailing with a service dog, you need to put in your request at least 60 days in advance. Now, I will tell you, they say 60 days in advance just to give them and yourself some time. However, I was told that if it's within 60 days, they just cannot guarantee an approval, but they do work hard to give you an approval. So when you get to this page, first thing you want to do is go straight to the accessibility and medical request form. That's the first thing you want to do. That's going to pop up a questionnaire. You're going to fill it out. It's going to ask you, are you cruising and flying or just cruising only? What ship? It has a list of all their ships. You hit next and basically follow the prompts. And that will be sent to them. Now, I will tell you, once you fill out that form and you send it in to them, you will get an automatic reply saying that they've received it. I strongly suggest that you send an email, a separate email. And that separate email, see if it's on here. No, I have it in one of my other tabs. Because unfortunately, for some reason, their accessibility form, even though it does ask about service dogs, it doesn't have on there where you can put your service dog's task. And they do need to know the task. So you can send a simple email to the email which I will provide saying, this is my service dog and these are the tasks that my service dog is trained to perform. Okay, so make sure you fill out the form first, then send the email. Once you send that, fill out the form and send the email, you come right back to this page and then you scroll down and you're going to see under accessibility, it's going to say service animal. Once again, I encourage you to read the entire thing. It says here, view service dog documentations. You click on here, and this is going to basically take you to the different websites that you have to. If you haven't already been through this before, you want to go here. This is the site. As I said, I have it. It says check CDC requirements, which we're going to go into next. If you haven't been on this website, I strongly suggest you get yourself familiar with it. I break down this website and my other traveling with a service dog. The beginning part of that video talks about Carnival's requirements, but then it talks about the different countries and things like that. So feel free to click on that video. What we are going to click on, because in that particular video, where one of the ports that we were going to did have high-risk rabies, so the form was slightly different. So if you didn't see what I did here, I clicked on the CDC import. That brought me to this form here, sorry, to this page here. When you click on this page, again, highly suggest you read it. Here it gives you the list of the high-risk rabies countries. Where we are going is not high-risk rabies, it's to the Bahamas, so it's not on that list. But you always want to verify because that list gets updated constantly. So let me just, for the sake of it, click on it, and as you can see, Bahamas is not there, but they do have a lot of different countries, and it does get updated constantly. Okay, so clicking out of there, you're back here. You go to the, oh, I clicked on the wrong. You go to the CDC import. Since we're not going to high-risk rabies, we go here. And you're going to see it's going to tell you low-risk rabies, it's okay. You fill out the form. Now, you might think that it's a different form if you're going to high-risk rabies to a low-risk rabies. It's pretty much the same exact form, just in the form you have to specify. So here, CDC import form. You click on that. You click on your preferred language. And then here's where you pretty much have to let them know if you're going to a high-risk rabies. The form is, you fill out the same information. Where the form differs, if you do click yes, is at the very bottom where you have to specify what country you're actually going to that is high-risk rabies. And you also have to send in a picture of your service dog. That's the only difference. It's basically specifying what the country is and sending in a picture of your service dog. Other than that, everything else is going to be the same. You type in your information here, passport, driver's license number, whichever one you choose. And as I said, just continue to fill it out. Here, this is the part that populates if you are going to a high-risk rabies country. As you see, it's not populated here, meaning you don't have to fill that out. But if you were, that would be the extra tab, that information that they would require. And then you submit. When you submit it, you will receive within minutes an email with your CDC import form. The good thing about the CDC import form is that it is good for 6 months. So you can go back, as long as where you're going is not a high-risk rabies country, you can use this form to go in and out of the United States into different countries for 6 months. So that's the good thing. Okay. So kind of backtracking a little bit, once you send the email to the cruise line, to MSC, you're going to get a response. Now, with the response, this is where you have to send the email, specialneeds@msccruiseusa.com. That's where you send the email where you talk about your service dog's tasks and you let them know. Now, there's a couple of things here I do want to mention. One, make sure that any documentation that you are required to get for the country that you're going to and for the cruise line, you print it out and you have it with you at all times, especially for embarkation day. Most of that information is here, but there's something that I want to make mention. Here it says that you may be asked for your service dog certificate. A training certificate may be asked. I specifically asked, well, what does that mean? There is no such thing as a certificate or training or registration or, as far as paperwork is concerned. And they did say that no, that I don't know why they haven't changed it, but it's not something that they do ask for because they know it's not something that is required. So that is very simple. As I said, I do the breakdown of the CDC high risk rabies and the USDA on my other cruise channel, Cruising with a Service Dog, which I will post right up here. So to cut in real quick, future me here, I forgot to mention what great news I have. I also found out on their website, it says that they require a health certificate for MSC. I kind of went back and forth with them because just getting that piece of paper can cost, at least here in Florida, up to $500. So I said, well, wait a minute, if I'm already required to get those for the ports that I'm going to, why do I need another one just for you when it's going to have the exact same information? And they agreed. So basically, if the country you're going to already requires a health certificate, you do not, and this is a signed health certificate by a veterinarian that's USDA certified. So if the country you're going to already requires that, you do not have to get an extra one just for MSC. That is great news. It did take me a little while to get the approval. It took 6 weeks. They say it doesn't typically take that long, so I don't know what was going on, but it did take me about 6 weeks to get that set to sail, and that was after I submitted everything, the pet permit, everything. If you're going to the Bahamas, I will have that linked over here specifically on how to get your pet permit approved. And that video also has an update. So I recorded that video and then it just has an update as well. So make sure you check out the update after you check out the video. It's pretty much the same thing. It's just information, extra information, or check out the update first maybe. Well, either way, it's good information, and it tells you exactly how to fill out the permit so that you can get your service dog on a cruise ship and get the pet permit approved and everything. So thank you for watching. I hope this was helpful. Let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns.